have reached Potomac View TV show. You don't need to turn your dial. I know you were expecting Ashla Hill Roseboro, but she's taking a much-deserved break. My name is Tabby, Mann, and I'm in for her this month. And I am so excited to be here, especially because our guests today are Chef Darius O and his lovely wife, Joaquina Dickens. And together, they are Mangé Cuisine. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to jump right in. Because you're Chef Darius O, and there are all these questions about what is a chef? What does that mean? So tell me, what's the difference between just being somebody who's a good cook and someone who's a chef? How does that come about?
It's all about the route that you take as far as your career path.
Mm-hmm.
So someone can be a good cook at home, and that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really trying to do anything further with that.
Mm-hmm.
But someone else might want to open up a restaurant, might want to open up a catering business, might want to be a personal chef. So they take a different path where they try to do the best that they can to really enhance their culinary skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so they take it to the next level.
Wonderful. And what made you decide that you wanted to be a chef?
It was my friends and family really encouraging me after tasting the food that I was already making, and they were wondering why I'm not doing anything with it. So I decided to look into it. I ended up enrolling in culinary school, and then after that, after completing culinary school, I started working in some restaurants and then started the catering business.
Okay, all right. And okay, so you started off, you knew you could cook, everybody pushed you in that direction. Mm-hmm. What do you think it brings to your life? Like how does it enhance who you are and express who you are being a chef?
Some people have things that actually relaxes them, or it's their not quiet place, but it's their freedom. When I'm in the kitchen cooking, that's like heaven to me. It's where I really like to be. It's like that's my safe place. And so by me cooking and improving on my flavors, improving on the menus, improving on the recipes, that really does something to me. It makes me feel accomplished because I love food. And so if I'm able to cook food that I can really enjoy myself, then that's an accomplishment. And then I feed it to other people and they love it as well. Oh, that's like $1 million. That's $1 million to me. That is success.
Yeah, wonderful. And so is that why you decided to go into catering and being a personal chef as opposed to working in a restaurant? Or how did that come about?
So when I first got out of culinary school, I did go into the restaurants because that was my goal, was to work in as many restaurants as I can, learn from as many chefs as I can, because each chef is going to give you a different type of knowledge that they have, and you put it all together and you make it your own. The problem with that was when I entered culinary school, I was already in my 30s and a father of 3. Working in the restaurants is the money isn't that great, so I couldn't support my family on the salary that I was making being in the restaurants. So I had to adjust my plan, and I thought about, well, work on your own, go into catering. And that way I can make more money because I'm able to, charge what I need to charge. And, for each client, I'm able to charge what I need to charge. And that way I can still be in the culinary field, but I can be able to feed my family as well. So that's how I started doing that.
That's lovely. Now, you started culinary school when you were in your 30s. What were you doing before that?
I did several things before that. Right before I started culinary school, I was in the telecommunications field. So I was working for Verizon I was working for Verizon in their NOC. I was what you call a NOC technician. So I made sure their network was up and running, but it wasn't fulfilling. It was just
That's not what you were creating.
Right.
Wow, but what a jump.
Yes.
That took a lot of courage to do that.
Well, it did. When I first started culinary school, I was still working at Verizon. So I was working full time at night, getting off in the morning, driving to culinary school and going there full time. So it was rough at first, and then I got laid off. So it made it a little bit easier after I got laid off because I was already in culinary school. I just kept going.
Kept going.
Yep.
Wow.
Just kept going.
All right. And Bon Manger Cuisine is how old? How
10.
old is 10 years
Yes,
old?
10 years
okay.
old. Yes.
And you all are fairly newlyweds,
We
correct?
are.
Yes.
Yes.
You said
correct.
Yes.
3 years?
3 years next week.
Wow.
3
Congratulations.
awesome years.
Yes. absolutely.
And keep it going. Keep it
Yes,
going.
3 awesome years.
That's
I am
wonderful.
a fortunate man.
Yes, yeah. So Bon Manger was going before you all got together.
Yes.
And Joaquina, you are your background is organizational.
So I have my background in healthcare.
Okay.
And I have a doctorate in management and organizational leadership.
Uh-huh.
So what I bring to Bon Manger
Yeah.
is the organizational piece and business piece to it. So my husband is all art. He knows his strength. I know mine. I stay out the kitchen just to cut up stuff. That's all I do. So I handle the business piece, the marketing, organizational budget, everything in that matter, trying to propel us forward with the business.
That's wonderful.
The thing that I learned when I first started the catering business, I actually didn't have a mentor. So I learned from mistakes. I learned from actually just jumping in and starting my own catering business. I didn't have anybody to ask, how do you price?
Right.
How do you know how much food to cook? How do you keep the food at the good temperature so it's not too cold or it's not, it's not dried out because it was warmed up for too long? I didn't have those things. And another thing that I didn't have was anyone to teach me the business side. So I've learned over the years, I don't care how much talent you have in whatever you're trying to do, if you don't have a good business ethic, then your business is not going to succeed. So I can honestly say that while I was doing the catering before she came along, it wasn't thriving until after she came, because she added the missing piece with the business. I got all the good tasting food, but she takes care of the business side so that our customers feel appreciated and our customers feel like we love them.
Yeah, that's an important piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm attention to detail. So I ask, as far as our follow up, we need to get thank you cards, all the woman type of stuff that he says is the woman stuff. But thank you cards and appreciative things like that. That adds a special touch as far as customer service. Is what I'm always thinking about to help improve our business.
See, I just want to make you a good plate.
I want to make sure you come back.
Yeah, because if you got a nasty attitude and you're not following up with me and making me feel special, I might find somebody that doesn't taste quite as good.
Right.
But that's fantastic.
But you'll get a better experience in that society.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talent does not equal success.
Yes, and you said that before, and I need you to say it again.
That's right.
Please say it loudly.
Talent does not equal success.
Thank you. Yeah,
It takes more than talent.
It does take more than talent, and what a great pairing of the business side and the art side, and making that work together. That's fantastic. Okay, let me ask about the art a little bit. What kind of food do you specialize in? Like, what's your specialty?
My specialty is New Orleans cuisine.
Uh-huh.
I also do Italian cuisine and American, but my real specialty is New Orleans cuisine. No, I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from D.C., but I believe in flavors. And when I visited New Orleans, every restaurant that we went to was blowing me away. I was like, this is what I want to cook. Because I want everybody to have the same experience when they taste my food.
Yeah.
I believe in flavors. I really believe in flavors. I don't want to give you a plate of food and you say, can you pass me the salt? I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then it goes, how can I make it better? What can I make it? How can I make it pop?
Yes.
Even better.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask. So are you working on classic dishes that everyone would have heard of, or are you making new dishes? Like, is this a Chef Darius
It's both.
creation? Okay.
It's both. I like to take dishes that are classic. You got crawfish etouffee. You got gumbo. Everyone knows about gumbo. Everyone knows about jambalaya. You got those things, but I want you to have my version of it. And I want you to feel like you were in New Orleans. And I also want you to be like, man, this is really, really good. This might be even better. That's what I want you to come out with. I want you to feel that way. So I that's the approach that I take to classic dishes. And then I take, like I said, not only do I cook New Orleans food, but I also cook Italian food or cook American. When I was in culinary school, I took a class and it was a global cuisine. So I had to learn how to make Asian food. I had to learn how to make West Indies food. I had to learn how to make all these different cuisine, French food. So what I do is I try to take the knowledge that I get from the different cuisines and I try to put them together and create new dishes as well.
Good, good, wonderful. Now, what would be your? Do you have a signature dish?
Yes, our signature dish is our shrimp and grits. Our shrimp and grits is
slamming.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to sound like a person who's not humble, but yeah. We get rave reviews on the shrimp and grits.
Sort of fake if you know your stuff is good, and you're like,
yeah, I'll put my shrimp grits up against anything. Well, and I don't even think that's our best dish.
No.
Yeah, I think the crawfish etouffee is a close.
Yes. I think, yes.
Tie.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
The shrimp and grits, that's what everyone loves.
Yeah. Well, Joaquina, when I first met you, I said, well, you know, grits fan. I don't like grits.
A lot of people say.
And what was your response to me? I was like, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't really like grits.
You're gonna like these grits.
Yeah.
This is not your ordinary grits.
That was the thing. So these aren't your ordinary grits. I was like, okay, all right. What makes them not your ordinary grits? What would you all say?
Most people grew up on grits that was either cheese grits with salt, cheese, and salt, and pepper, or they had the sugar grits with the sugar and the butter. That's what they're used to. Mine doesn't have any of that in it. It doesn't have anything. And mine are very creamy.
Yeah, they are.
And I've even had people say, these are mashed potatoes. A lot of people don't like the texture of grits. So mine are very, very creamy, and it's a whole different flavor profile that you're going to experience when you eat mine.
And you don't have to add anything to it.
Nothing.
No. Wow.
Yep.
Now, I was hoping that we were going to be able to do some taste testing.
That would have been lovely.
Wouldn't that have been lovely?
That would have been lovely.
Ashley, can we do a taste test? And she said no. So I'm putting it out there right now on TV. Y'all hear me? I'm open to being a taste tester.
We need
if
it.
you ever need that.
We appreciate that.
So, but I mean, I'm joking about this. Not really. But how do you know when you have a good dish? How do you know that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this out there.
If I taste it and I go,
it has to be that face.
Then I want you to taste it.
You see that face?
I'm like, let's serve it.
Yep.
Eyes closed, head back.
Okay. Now, are you also a taster, Joaquina? Do you get into making some of those decisions too?
Not too much.
No.
Not too much, but he does let people sample. So we have a collective audience, and yeah, we've heard it over and over again. Oh my God, that's the first thing. Oh
and
my
I
God.
love it.
Yeah.
We get the I love that. That's music to my head.
Good. Yes. So folks that you know and that you trust and you know that what they're...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's some things like shrimp I have an allergy to. And so he substitutes different things for me that I can't eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's all about all about the reaction. I like to just taste this and like to see their reaction. I like to see them just taste it and then do a double take. That tells me, okay, yep, I got it.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was like, oh.
Yep.
Yes, I did this face. Oh my goodness. Wow.
But that's the reaction I'm looking for, because I think about my own personal experience. I've been to many events, weddings, parties and things like that, that's been catered. And I can't recall any that's really blew me away. And so I love it when we go places and we blow them away as far as the taste. But to the point, I did one anniversary party, and they made me take the microphone and introduce myself to everyone. I'm just a caterer. It's not my party, but they liked the food that much. They was like, no, you got to say something. So that's the response that I like, and that tells me that I'm on the right path. And I just want to keep, I'm never satisfied, so it's not like I feel like I'm there. I want to keep improving, keep adding dishes, keep adding things. I want everything that you taste to be wonderful to you. That's how I just want you to be like, this is the best food I've had.
That's the difference between art and just sort of like I have fun with it. Yeah. How do you grow as a chef? Like you've got the training, you've got the experience, but how do you find different things to mix and know what to do so that you continue to kick it up a notch?
Okay. It's different for different people. Most people like to work in different restaurants, as I mentioned before, under different chefs so they can take the knowledge, collective knowledge that they've gathered, and they can put things together. But then you have people like me who are unable to do that because of family situation. I can't just go over to Europe and travel and work in these different restaurants in Europe because I got 3 kids that I would never just leave like that.
Right.
So I have to experiment by going to different restaurants, tasting their food, and if they make something that's blowing me away, then I have to learn, okay, what is it that made me have that reaction? Because I need to put that, incorporate that into my food as well. So that's how I actually do it, by just actually going to different restaurants, tasting the food, and like I said, if it's really, really good, I need to know what caused it to be really good.
Okay, good.
And that's how I expand.
So you use that foodie to propel it. Joaquin, are you also a foodie or?
Not too much.
No?
Not too much, but whatever he makes.
I disagree. She is. She enjoys these places just like
Really?
I
I
do.
mean, I enjoy them, but the level of
Detail and
like
discussion about it.
let me taste this and name all 10 spices.
Did you see how it hit that right there? Oh, is there any flavor that you are intrigued with right now, or any type of food that you're interested in exploring at this point?
Yes. Right now, I really want to heavily get into Asian food. But we've been so busy with the business that I haven't been able to do that. But as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to really, and I might even take some cooking lessons, because there's chefs who, they do cooking lessons and things like that. So I want to find a chef around here in the DC metro area, and take some cooking lessons on the Asian style. I want to incorporate that because I know when I taste Asian food, I really like it. So if Italian food is delicious, New Orleans food is delicious, I can put it all together and
Fusion.
It's fusion, exactly. That's the word I was just about to say, and I think we can do something with that.
Yeah.
But I have to study it first. I don't want to just learn one dish and that's it. No, I want to really, like how I did with the New Orleans cuisine, like with Italian food that I've done, I want to make it my own first before I can go ahead and start the fusion process.
Yeah.
And we do benefit from that because he does make an orange chicken right now. And it's like, yeah, we can market this. Absolutely.
Okay. Orange chicken.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But I love the fact that you're talking about continuing to gain education. Like it's not just that I've done this and I'm an award-winning chef, and I want you all to tell me about that in a minute. But that I don't just sit back on my laurels. I could, but it's all about growing and learning and interacting, and not being too proud to go to a chef and say, well, how did you teach me how to do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that community open like that? Or
Yes.
people are open and welcoming?
I look at, as far as the chef world, as like a brotherhood. I don't see too much competition. I don't see too much, like with my peers, I don't see them competing against me. We're all rooting for each other. They will post, on social media, if I post something, I will see our stuff reposted by my peers, by my other chefs, and I will repost theirs as well.
Oh, that's lovely.
So it's, if as long as we look out for each other, we can just continue to grow. Continue to grow. Yep.
That's wonderful. And I saw the picture on your Instagram with you and Chef Carla and with Tom Colicchio and all of these, and Chef Andres.
Yeah.
So how do you all get into that universe? Because it's Chef Carla.
Right.
I saw it on the road.
Right.
So how did that come about? How do you make that happen?
It was all about connections. So while I was in culinary school, I was really into culinary school. Some people go to culinary school only because their parents made them go, because they needed to go to some kind of school. But I had a strong desire to be the best chef.
Okay.
And so the instructors at the culinary school, they saw that. And so they kind of were taking me under their wing, and they have connections.
Wow.
And so that's how I ended up in places like that, or meeting people like that, is through my connections with them. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what? This time has gone by really quickly. We got time for one more quick question.
Okay.
What word of wisdom would you give those who are watching us who are saying, yeah, that sounds really exciting. I would love to do what he's doing. What would you say?
My advice is, if you have a passion for it, go after it, but be realistic. Don't think that it's going to be automatic fame or automatic money. It takes a hard grind.
Yeah.
Working in the restaurants, you're going to be working on hours.
Yeah.
You're going to be working during hours where you might want to be out. But the money time for the restaurants is on the weekends. So you have to sacrifice some things, and it'll be all worth it in the end.
Yeah.
But if you aren't willing to sacrifice in the beginning,
It's not going to come
it's
out.
not going to work out
Thank
for
you
you.
so much. That is a really great word to end on. Guys, check out Mangé Cuisine. The website is up on their website is what? www.bonmangercuisine.com. Learn your French. Bon manger. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you so much.
And thank you for tuning in. Our website is PotomacViewTVShow.com. Tune in there for this episode and other episodes, and take care of yourself. Thank you so much for being here.